Hello, everybody. This is Dave Wallace coming to you from my backyard here in Waihawa, Hawaii. And this is Sunday, so it's story time. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be sharing with you my experiences in dreams. Now, dreams were the very first uh, natural gift that I was born with. And ever since I was a little kid, I always had prophetic dreams, dreams that would come true within a couple of weeks. Some of these dreams would take longer to materialize, but when they did, a lot of times the things that I saw in the dream were fulfilled. Okay, so this is something that um, has been with me for the longest time, and in my family, we do have a lot of dreamers and people that have dreams for other people and interpret dreams, and that is one of my strengths. Okay, so there's many types of dreams that I'm going to be sharing with you, and some of them are prophetic. In one of my earlier videos, I told you about a dream that I had about my friend Charlie, who passed away in a automobile accident when we were recruits in Maui Police Department. So that was one of these dreams. Tonight, I'd like to share with you an unusual dream in a sense that it was a shared dream. This is a dream that um, I was both a participant and an observer. Okay, in a dream. So the background: um, I was living in Utah during that time, during this time, and I made really good friends with a person that I had known here in Hawaii. And when we went to the mainland, we became very, very good friends. And later on, I found out he's my relative. So this man and I, this man and I hung out a lot. We played volleyball, we went dancing, we did all kinds of different stuff together, and we were really good friends. Well, uh, one weekend, we went out to Salt Lake City, and we stayed out late dancing, and we didn't drink, but we were out there for the longest time, and so by the time we made it back to Provo, it was in the wee hours of the morning, and we were tired. Both of us were tired, and so I decided, hey, invite my friend into my apartment, and we pulled out two mattresses from the beds, and we put it on the floor of the living room, and got pillows and blankets, and we just laid face to face, and it's actually head to head like this, yeah. And we started talking until we passed out and we fell asleep. And when I fell asleep, you know, I started having this unusual dream. And this unusual dream, dog's really active. In this dream, I found myself fishing on the banks of the Provo River. And the Provo River, depending on the time of the year, it, it can be a raging river or it can be really calm, gentle river. And the way the river was running, it was really raging. It was full, so it was probably during the spring when the snows were melting and just dumping their water into the Provo River. I decided the river was too rough for me, so I found a small estuary where the water was really clean, real clear, and I could see right to the bottom. And just looking in the pond, I could see uh, the fish, and they were rainbow trout. So I started beating up my hook, and I started casting inside this small little clear water, and boom! As soon as lure hit the water, man, a trout would come in and I reel it in. I look at him. Oh, not too bad. Within regulations. So I put them on a stringer and keep them in the water. And I know I was there with my friend, so I started looking around and I was excited because I caught a fish. And um, when I started looking for my friend, I saw him standing in the raging river and casting out um, his lures. And when I looked at him and stuff, I say, "Wow, he's in really deep water, and I'm afraid that he may be washed away." So he's not exercising caution. So I was yelling at him, "Bro, come closer to shore." And I even noticed that the water around him was all brown and dirty and filthy. And so, but that's why he chose to go fishing. And all of a sudden, I see him hook up, and whatever he hooked up to, was huge because the pen, um, his rod just bent down, and you could hear the line screaming. Zzz! And he's fighting at him, fighting him, and finally he lands the fish. And when he pulls out, this fish is huge. It's almost the same size as him. And he looks at him, and he kind of like looks at me, and I go, "What? You gonna keep that?" And he looks at me, and he lets it go. So this big fish that I would catch it and be proud and probably mount that thing in my wall and stuff. He let him go. So I'm over there. What's wrong with this guy? And so I went back to my hole and I started fishing and catching all of these smaller fish. It was just right to fit the pan. So I put it on my stringer and I keeping the fish alive. And as I catch a bigger fish, I let the smaller one go. And so there, the limit for that was 6 fish. So I only could keep 6. So I kept on rotating until I got the biggest, of my catches on the line. And I'm looking at my friend, and I hear him laughing, and so I figure he caught another fish. And so he's over there again, same thing, line bent down and stuff, and line is screaming and zzz, and all excited and stuff, and he's reeling on me, and he pulls out a fish that was bigger than the first one. In fact, the thing could have swallowed him if he wanted. And he looks at him, and he looks at him, and he looks at him, and he kind of like shakes his head and makes a disgusting face and go, throws him back, throws him away. And now I'm really confused and stuff. So I asked him, "Bro, why are you throwing away the fish?" And he says, I'll get plenty more, no worries. And so I said, "Well, it's almost time to go." So he continues to fish in his spot, and I continue to fish in my spot. And the end of the day comes, and we need to go home. So I pull out my fish and I catch my limit, and I go to my friend and say, "Hey, bro, you catch it? You strung any other fish you caught?" And he looks at me and goes, "Oh, sorry, I never keep any of them." And I look at him, "With all the big fish that you had, you never keep one." And I go, "No." He always found something wrong with the fish. Now, it's really interesting when we decided to walk away from the stream and head back to our my truck. I rolled over in my bed and I woke up, and right when I opened my eyes and looked towards my friend, he's lying over there looking at me in my eyes, and we're looking at each other, and we're staring at each other, and he goes, "Brah, I had this weird dream." And I look at him, "What, about us fishing?" He goes, "Yeah, we were fishing on a Provo River, and I was catching these huge fish, and you was catching all these little fish and stuff." And so when we described the dream that we had, we both had the same dream, and we both saw the same dream through different perspective. Like for me, I saw him getting rid of the fish because there were flaws in this big, beautiful fish, flaws that I couldn't see. For him and stuff, he saw me catching all of these uh, small fish, but the fish was just enough to take home to eat. And so this dream kind of like was pretty symbolic of our relationship and where we were as young men at that time of our lives. And so we were really good friends, but we were on different paths. And, we were on two very different paths. And although we had differences and stuff, I love this man, even to today and stuff. And, so anyway, this is my dream. And, you know, a lot of times when we have shared dreams, there's a reason for it. And over the last, after having these dreams, we sat down and we discussed our own journeys, our points that we were in our life, and we made some very interesting decisions after these dreams kind of like told us where we were. Okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this story, and next week we'll be seeing more. Next week I'll be sharing with you a story that a dream that I had regarding another fellow officer of the law at BYU Police, and this story is written in my book, The Journey of Our Souls. And for those of you who got my book, mahalo for buying my book. And if you still need to get a copy, you can look it up on Amazon.com, or you can find it on our website, thejourneyofursouls.com. Okay? So this is Dave Wallace. Until next week, Sunday, saying aloha and sweet dreams. Bye-bye.